voice wonders, what are you thinking about?
Damn, I was thinking about how you know how to interrupt an intro, Ortis. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. How y'all doing? This is right next to the recordings. I'm gonna do bursts of recordings, by the way. So, especially in the first few episodes, you're gonna be like, "Wow, yeah, this and that, put together the stuff." I just did the Gift of the Lotus alerts. Those are gonna be separate YouTube videos and stuff. Mostly just rants and me bitching, but some people like that, some people don't. And I'm gonna try to be more positive most of the time, but it's gonna take some practice because I do not want to lie, and sometimes the truth is a bitter poison, but sometimes you gotta drink that bitter poison and just be an adult about it and be like, yeah, that happened, yeah, that didn't. But now we get to do some memes and stuff. I did the Iron Wake, or no, I did the capture mission where it's like, yeah, that was like, what, 2 minutes? We're gonna be a little bit better than that this time around. You know, just a wee bit, such as, you know, we're gonna go back to we could play some Gara for defense because I don't want no one-shot the defense objective. Yeah, this is probably the call. I'll probably stick with adaptation plus DR is just ridiculous. Yeah, this is probably good. Probably do some more glaive action, get some glaive prime going, some new core action, some phantasma, yeah, all the fun stuff. I'm trying to think, do I want to go fast or want to go slow? Well, it's speed, but I'd rather just confirm the objective, you know, nothing too outrageous, nothing too hard. I think 101 to 106, not too bad.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
I was gonna say I will not do that, but he told me to kill them quickly and come back with a trophy, and I said, okay. Locate the target. There's your target. There's our operative. I'm curious. Yeah, there's like one enemy. And there's the damage. Might actually have to use the wall. Yeah. We can do both. We can do a little bit of both. It's not bad. SteelPath feels good again. I'm a bit focused, as you can see. I'm just been quiet for the most part. But a quick little Gara tutorial for all the new people or people who are like, how the hell are you doing all what's the number do? What's this? What's that? Okay, so your number is your 2. Your 2 absorbs melee damage from your 4. You press 1 on your 4, you get puncture. You hold it, you do the slash. Pressing it makes you do puncture damage and goes bam. Typically, you just want to stick with the hold. Slash damage is just universally a little bit better than puncture. Does do bonus damage to Grenier, so that is notable. Also, it adds up separately. It becomes like a different damage type almost entirely. Also, they did nerf Glaive's Dispatch. They still feel good. It just feels a little required that you need all the wind up mods for heavy attacks and stuff. Nothing too outrageous though, nothing that we all can't handle. What's 1 plus 1? Grab. Again, I like to try to put actual words to it. Sounds like grab bag now that I think about it though. Gara's 2 can scale infinitely, and it does scale off your melee mods, and I believe it now scales off your melee combo counter.
Always collect our debts.
Oh no, I didn't know you could do this during SteelPath. That actually might suck. No panicking, no panicking. Don't ever panic in Warframe. It'll get you probably a good way there in progress and stuff, but it's not really necessary. I don't know if the alternate fire on this is good. Yeah, it is. You gotta ramp it up. Ooh. I know. In the words of Brozon, this thing is a this is a war crime on a stick. I am very happy with the state of guns in SteelPath. They're not the best. Obviously, like a glaive's probably still gonna do more damage, even not a heavy attack version, but it's still very nice to have guns actually do something. And for the most part, whatever I'm shooting at, it's gonna die in about the same amount of time. Like, nothing can handle this much heat. Like hell. It's just really good CC. Eventually it just kills them. Like, just listen to that. They're dead. Feels good. Seems good, feels good, sounds good. Let's do some glaive explosions. Heavy attack in the air, you get some more booms and bops. Where are you at? I hear you. You up? I don't know if the enemies are still spawning. Oh no. Got distracted because I'm like, where are the enemy spawns? We can start ramping our damage back up. Oh yeah, glaives have self-stagger. That's a topic for bitching and moaning about what I love about the video game that I love so damn much. I really don't like self-stagger. They made a very good decision by removing self-damage because it just interrupts the gameplay flow. It adds nothing valuable to the game other than frustration, and this isn't binding of Isaac. This game's not meant to be frustrating or hard or difficult. It's very much a new player friendly game. It's meant to be a fun game, and as much as I can appreciate the animation of the self-stagger because it's actually badass as fuck, it's a nuisance. It has the same, if not worse, properties because you know you die once. You're very unlikely to kill yourself again, right? Nothing too outrageous to expect of a player. If you shoot your kill with the lens, the odds of you killing yourself with the lens again in the same mission, very low, depending on the tile set more than anything. But still very low overall, if I had to guess, right? I don't know where the guy is at. Also, tip to all the people who like to use Gara, she freezes status effects on someone. So if you put like 1,000 heat procs on something and then Gara it, I have to focus. If you put 1,000 heat procs on something, can you not status proc them? I guess not. That's lame. You do full damage to them, but you can't stack heat procs on what? You can't stack procs on them. That's lame. God, I hate that. I hate that how they're like talking about like making Warframe ability stuff work on like mini bosses and having more of the game be like more friendly to all that, and then they make it so your status procs are capped to 1 after reworking statuses. It just seems very counterintuitive. Like even if they were less effective, capping them just seems like a waste of time. It's very It's like making glaives feel good, and the next patch you make them worse by not nerfing their damage necessarily, but you make them just slower instead of just nerfing their base damage. It just seems like not very forward thinking when it comes to like, should we make this feel good or should we make it feel... Now, to be fair, in video games, most of the time the reason why people use it is because it feels good and it is good. And if you make it worse, people are going to keep using it. So if you make it feel worse, that's not always the worst option when it comes to balance, is what I'll call it. But it is a valuable lesson to be learned, where something that's like... I think a little indie game called Path of Exile probably learned this the best. In Legion, they buffed their spin to win ability called Cyclone. It's basically you turn yourself into a spinning man, weapon in hand, big bada boom. You go woo. That's it. Like, that was the ability. You just go woo. And they changed how the AoE scaling works. They changed how the damage works on it. And everyone's like, it feels so good because it's a movement ability as well. And mechanically, that's just complicated as hell to even think about, let alone to explain. So I'm not going to bother trying because I'm not qualified to even pretend I know what the hell I'm talking about in Path. Even though I have, like, you know, almost 2,000 plus hours in the game. That's nothing in that game. So... the biggest issue the developers had with it was that they wanted to make it feel good, because that was the whole point of reworking the ability in Legion. It's just their version of seasons in that game, and it's more of just a reference point for the people who play the game. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's like season number X, but instead of 10X, whatever, they just list it. But a big contender to the balance for that ability was they wanted it to feel good, and the best part about feeling good was that it dealt way too much damage and had way too much AoE. Now, mind you, I wish that they just nerfed the damage and then the AoE, but they also nerfed how the AoE scales and all that. They reined it in, is what that happened. Now, in Warframe, they don't rein in stuff. They kind of just... they normally completely gut it in Warframe, and Path of Exile is known to do that too. They normally just completely gut something, but Cyclone's still the king of melee as far as I'm concerned. There are some like slam abilities and stuff, but slams are shit. It's not my cup of tea, and I have yet to play them properly, but every time I've touched them outside of Perforate, which I didn't really play as a slam build, it's just not normally very fun or interactive. It's just bonk. And it's not very inherent for that game. It's basically, if you play heavy attacks in Warframe, but you only heavy attack, and you're not using like a Redeemer or something on a very slow weapon, but it clears the screen. That's what it's like. It's a very interesting experience overall. Now back to the actual video game I'm actually playing and not thinking about playing the other one, because I may or may not be hyped for the next League announcement, because they had a bunch of nerfs and stuff. But new League, new skills, hype. That stuff aside, I am hyped for the new war. Oh my god, if you haven't seen it, by the way, I mean, technically, you know, spoilers and stuff are kind of, if you're watching this, you know what you're getting yourself into. Overall though, I really am super excited for all the new war stuff. It is one of the hypest times to ever be playing Warframe. They broke all the concurrent viewer counts and records and login stuff on Twitch and during TennoCon. It's a treat. It is a good time to be a Warframe player. You got some high-end scaling, not quite endgame, but there is stuff to do as an endgame player. There is no endgame in Warframe outside of, you know, just looking fantastic. But outside of just looking phenomenal, there is like actual stuff to do as an endgame player. You can farm liches, you can min-max your super weapons, you can trade said super weapons, you can trade the endgame cosmetics known as ephemeras from the liches. Liches are As much as I do not agree with how they're being handled with damage scaling and stuff and basically making me play Banshee, which is a good thing because I like playing my Banshee, but some people have a problem with playing having required warframes for certain bits of content, such as Saren for Elite Sanctuary. Like, even the devs don't like it. Pablo was talking about that. They're not very happy where Saren is at, or he's not, because he just feels, or she, excuse me, my warframe's all he, because I'm a man, self-identifying and all that, but I bugged in there. So where you going, bud? Made me hurt myself, didn't you? Again. Really annoying. Really annoying how they just don't let me deal damage to you. It's like the super armor from Binding of Isaac. It's like, yeah, I get why it's there, but can you, like, let me play the damn video game? Seems very counterintuitive with all the recent changes to decapping status and stuff, when that's like, I mean, you're just forcing me into a super crit melee weapon or some bullshit. Hopefully they work that out. I don't really like the new DR stuff either, because I do believe it applies to all the mini bosses, and or at least the rules for the mini bosses. It's not on the miseries and stuff, but it's still quite annoying, if I'm completely honest.
Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
But yeah, the new war and stuff, it's a good time to be a Tenno and stuff.
You conquer the foe, so you conquer
Some
yourself.
water in my lungs. Dexterity, merciless, nice. Some steel essence. I'm less upset about the steel essence changes, by the way. Really am, because they drop 2 steel essence and that's doubled, and if you have a Kava that doesn't instantly die, it's fine. I still don't think it's fair or valid to make it so you need one for every weapon, because we run into the issue of the galvanized mods when they first were introduced. You were supposed to get these from the Alkalites or from the shop, the steel essence shop. So to make your guns good, to be able to be played in SteelPath, you have to, you know, farm SteelPath to play SteelPath. It just seems like an never-ending loop of where do you get started. Now you have the galvanized mods to get started. Send me order. Family wants food. Interrupting my thoughts. That's okay though. It just seems like a conflict of interest, but you get so many where just running it, you will get enough. Unless you're just dumping all your steel essence into the wonderful mistake that is Kuva and Rivens and stuff. Unless you're just doing that, you probably should get enough for all your good weapons and stuff, but my point still stands of I don't like when I have to farm something to use it, because I farmed the arcanes. I farmed the arcanes and stuff, and I can't use it, and it's just like I'm gonna get fucked. So I'm just like, well, I want to use my arcanes. No, you have to use the thing, and like, this isn't a kit gun. This is just a normal gun and stuff, and like, we don't need that on Warframes. We don't, like, you get instant access to all the things, and it just seems very like there's no constant rules with arcanes, and I really wish that we just got them unlocked on guns, because they're kind of the ones I needed the most, and it just seems very ass backwards to need to play SteelPath to use the resources you get from SteelPath per weapon. Overall, I'm very happy with the new changes and stuff, but it's just one of those things where I really wish it was like a weapon segment, because you really don't want a new player to going after these arcanes, because it's a heavy investment, or it's just expensive platinum wise, probably. Even after market inflates, it gets inflated and stuff, it's probably still going to be pretty pricey. It just seems very annoying that, like, melee weapons always have access to this, the RS slot, both for stances, which are very powerful, and for mod capacity, yet you have to play SteelPath in order to get like the basic requirement of the arcane, and then you also have to play SteelPath to get the arcane and to unlock it on top. It just seems like a conflict of interest, or at least seems like the same issue with the galvanized mods at first. It doesn't seem very well thought out. If it was a one-time purchase, I'd be okay with it per weapon category, but in the current state, it's probably not that bad. but I still don't like it. It just seems like a design flaw. But anyway, me bitching and stuff aside, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your wonderful support. I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, bye-bye, everybody.